Dave Pelz has been a technical consultant and short game expert at Golf Magazine since 1982. Now, in that time, he's written many groundbreaking articles on the short game and putting, but never has he produced anything quite as fascinating as what you're about to see. Through his work with countless PGA, LPGA, and club professionals, plus his always full short game schools, Pelz has what amounts to a living laboratory of what works and what doesn't in the short game and putting. Now, not too long ago, he found something strange in the technique of both pros and amateurs when it came to putting. It seems that all of us are missing our breaking putts in the same way, well below the hole. Now, being the scientist that he is, Dave developed a series of tests to determine whether the mistake is the result of a bad read or a bad stroke. And what he found is absolutely incredible. It has the potential to impact every golfer, both today and tomorrow. So here to share his discovery with you is the man himself, Dave Pelz.
Welcome to the Dave Pelz Short Game Center. This is the facility that I teach my short game schools on. I built it here at the beautiful Boca Raton Resort and Club to teach golfers everything they need to know, everything you need to learn inside of 100 yards. But today I want to talk to you about something that's really unbelievable. It's incredible. In fact, Golf Magazine thinks it's so amazing that they put it on the cover, The Amazing Truth About Putting. Now, you know putting is 43% of the game of golf. It really affects your score, your handicap, the kind of player that you are. And I believe there's something about your putting that you're doing wrong. I know that Jack Nicklaus and Fred Couples, I know myself, and I believe you are doing it wrong. I believe every golfer since the start of golf has been making a mistake. Now, we're talking about 450 years of golf. We've all been doing it wrong, and I want to prove it to you today and show you how to start doing it right. We are going to change the way you look at greens for the rest of your golf career. What's so amazing is that you and I, we've all been reading our breaking putts incorrectly. Now, I want you to understand, almost all putts in golf break. They don't break this much. I'm demonstrating here a very large breaking putt. It's a real sweeper. But in misreading this putt, it affects the way I stroke the ball. And it even affects me, and I can prove this, so strongly that it messes up my straight putt stroke. All greens are sloping greens. Architects build them that way. They have to drain the water off. So 98% of our putts are breaking. And to prove all of these points to you, I've asked 4 golfers, 4 amateur players, to be with us today to let me show them, to prove to them that they're under-reading putts. As I take them through this, I hope you will see that the same thing has been happening to all of us. Now, the procedure here is very simple. I want you to read the putt and tell me how much break you're going to play. While you're putting, I'm going to be looking at your stroke mechanics. I want you to have your eyes over the target line. I want you to have your hands under your shoulders. I want you to set up, as we've been talking about, as best you can to make the simplest stroke you can make. I want the distance that you're reading for the break to be the distance that the starting line of this putt misses this hole as it runs by it. That starting line runs forever. It's a direction. And if you think you have to aim that putt here to make this hole, then I would say you're playing a 6-foot break. Does everybody understand break? Now, that's the starting line, which we call the aim line. It's the line that you're starting your putt on, but it has an assumption in it. How fast you're going to roll it. If I hit this ball unbelievably hard, unbelievably fast, I'm not going to play any break. I mean, if I fly it to the hole, you don't care what the ground slopes like. There is a speed which will optimize your chance of making this putt. If you roll a ball at a speed through the lumpy donut, through the footprints, so that it goes 17 inches behind the hole, that's how far I want you to assume you're going to roll this putt past if you miss it. Now, rolling at that speed, I want you to give me the break. Okay?
I think it breaks 6 inches.
I think it breaks 6 inches.
I think it breaks 8 inches.
I think it breaks 18 inches.
For the first time, we have a scientifically designed instrument that can control the speed and the starting direction of putts. Call this the true roller. I developed it recently simply to be able to control putts on greens so that we can really find out what's happening. The ball rolls wherever this ramp is aimed. That's close. Oh. I'm going to get one to go in that hole. Oh. Got it. Boom. Okay, now we get the aim line and we put it up. We've got the speed, we've got the direction. Now I align the aim line with the true roller. I verify that it's exactly in line. Then, to know the exact break, I simply measure it. It's 34 inches.
When David told me how far off I was on reading, say, a 10-footer, I didn't believe it. I thought, there's no way, because I've done this so many times. But he proved it to me with his true roller system, and he showed it to me, hard evidence, black and white. And needless to say, I was humbled.
My aiming was off to the right, which I didn't know at the time, but it's been a lot of hard work, and now I've moved my aim all the way around to, almost right on the money every time. And I just feel like when I'm putting now, I have some specific things to work on, and we've proven to one another that when I aim well, I usually putt well.
You all read that putt this morning, and now I want Larry to just walk back and look at that break. Stand behind the hole where you kind of primarily made your read this morning. You were back there, and show me if you can imagine that line. I always want you to walk from behind the hole back to the ball below the line. Never walk above, because that's where you're putting. You don't want fresh footprints up there. Now, can you imagine starting the ball on that line, Larry? I mean, you just saw the true roller do it.
Yeah.
Can you make your mind imagine that? I want you three to notice where Larry's standing. Larry is standing on an extension of the aim line, trying to imagine the ball rolling there. This is not where he stood when he read the putt. He stood over here when he read the putt this morning. Now crouch down. From here, that line looks absurd from down there. Can you even imagine the ball starting there now? I mean, it's just not even close. Every shot in golf, people walk to their ball on the line they're going to start it, except putting. When you putted this putt this morning, you walked to the hole on this line, and then you turned your bodies around. Your subconscious said, whoa, Joe, no way. Let's get you aimed over here. And you all aimed up that hill pretty well. Then you've compensated all the way. What you should have done is come over here and imagine the line you can start on. Your mind's eye has to say, I can make that putt if I start it there. Then walk along that line. This is the aim line. And I want you from now on to start your putts from behind the aim line and then walk to it that way. Now just walk up there and putt along that line. Just swing along it. Okay, now just putt along that line. Now you push that a little bit and hit it a little bit soft. Now I'd like to add another aim line. If I take this distance and divide it by 4, that's where most people aim their putt. They say they're going to play this break. Now I want you to aim down that line and try to make one. Yeah. That's the 25%. That's where you told me you were going to aim this putt. Okay, well, you obviously have no chance, so you'd never do that. Now, I want you to stand there, aim down that first line, and putt it down that other line.
Try and make it.
You see, you can do it, but what happens is your subconscious fires it because it knows you're not playing enough break. It's compensating. It's a difficult move. My whole point is, if you would learn to aim at the proper amount, putting becomes fairly easy. It's just as easy as a straight-in putt. One of the important things about this video, about the Golf Magazine article, is that it's all based on research. I started in my schools measuring what everybody estimated the break to be. I then realized, once I watched them putt, that they weren't aiming anywhere near where they told me. I have data from over 1,000 amateurs, over 300 PGA club professionals, and over 50 PGA, LPGA, and European Tour players. I have measured what they say, their initial conscious reads. I've measured where they line up and address their putters. Then I've measured where they start their balls. Out of those 1,350 golfers that I've measured definitively, they've all done the same thing. All the golfers are in denial about their own green reading. I've never had a person overread a green yet. Not one person in all this group, all these data samples, has overread. The most surprising thing to the golfers themselves is the magnitude of the underread. Golfers don't see the 34 inches. Golfers are telling themselves this putt only breaks 6, 8, 10 inches, 25% of the 34. That's what golfers read. That's what they believe. Now, their subconscious doesn't believe it. When they set up to this putt, they're going to set up to 65% of the break. That's an average. Some people do a little more, some people do a little less. But when they actually stroke it, they have in-stroke corrections. They push or pull to about 80, 85, sometimes even 90% of the break. Sometimes they hit it a little hard, just so they have a chance of making it. That's all subconscious control. Those are all compensations. The longer you've played and the better a player you are, the more ingrained these habits are. I want you to get up to 34 inches. I want you to get to the reality line so you